Hello everyone, today in this video I am going to deal with the 7th chapter of first flight of class 10th. The title of the chapter is Glimpses of India. As the title suggests, here we are in this chapter we are going to see the cultural diversity. We are going to witness the cultural diversity of our country. India is known for its cultural diversity. So this chapter has got 3 parts. In this video I am going to deal with the first part, and the first part is a baker from Goa, Lucio Rodriguez. So this first part is dedicated to Goa, and particularly it discusses the important significance of baker in Goa, how bakery and baker has become an inseparable part of culture and tradition of Goa. So let's move to this chapter. Our elders are often heard reminiscing nostalgically about those old Portuguese days. The Portuguese and their famous loaves of bread. Those eaters of loaves might have vanished, but the makers are still there. We still have amongst us mixer, the molders, and those who bake the loaves. Those age-old time-tested furnace still exists. The fire in the furnace has not yet been extinguished. The third and jingle of traditional baker's bamboo heralding his arrival in the morning can still be heard in some places. Maybe the father is not alive, but the son still carries on the family profession. These bakers are even today known as Feather in Goa. So the chapter talks about the rich culture of Goa, and particularly it discusses the significance of baker and the culture and tradition of Goa. So he says that this culture, this bread, the business of bread started in Goa during Portuguese time. So when Portuguese used to rule Goa, at that time only it started, but it has continued yet. And he says that maybe the people has stopped eating those breads, maybe they have reformed it, they have changed its form, but still in some part of the Goa he says that still that traditional baker's bamboo, the jingling sound produced by the traditional baker's bamboo can be heard. He says that maybe the loaves lover has vanished, but those mixer, the molders, the person who used to sell bread, the person who used to bake bread, they are still there. While at the same time in some part of the Goa, still that tradition continues. So they used to have a sign, that is the third or the jingling sound. That jingling sound was the sign that the baker has arrived. And it is said that business is a sort of hereditary business. The father used to run that business earlier, and now it is being carried as a family business by the son. And even now those bakers are known as Feather in Goa. During our childhood in Goa, the baker used to be our friend, companion and guide. He used to come at least twice a day, once when he set out in the morning on his selling round, and then again when he returned after emptying his huge basket. The jingling third of his bamboo woke us up from sleep, and we ran to meet and greet him. Why was it so? Was it for the love of loaf? Not at all. The loaves were bought by some Baskin or Western. The maid servant of the house. What we longed for were those bread bangles which we choose carefully. Sometimes it was sweet bread of a special make. So now the author in this chapter is sharing his own experience and how he was associated with baker during his childhood. So he says that when he was child, the baker used to be their friend, their companion and their guide. And he says that they used to come twice a day, once in the morning when they used to set out from their home in order to sell the bread. And again they used to come in the evening while they were returning back to their home after selling the bread which they have carried in their basket. And then he says that the jingling sound produced by the third of their bamboo was a sign that they have arrived. And as soon as the children used to listen to those sound of jingling sound produced by their bamboo, they used to get up. What is third? Third is the bamboo which they have in their hand. They used to hit it on the ground and then it produced a jingling sound. The jingling sound was not produced by the bamboo, but there was some musical instrument placed on it. A sort of reeds which is present in anklet which produced a musical sound. So that was placed on the head of the bamboo, and when they used to hit the ground with their bamboo, it produces a jingling sound. So that sound was the sign that they have arrived, that the baker has arrived in their locality. So as soon as the child used to hear that jingling sound, they used to run, they used to wake up, and they used to go to greet the baker. So then he says that the child did not go there in order to collect the loaf of bread, in order to buy the loaf of bread, but the thing is, they used to go there in order to get bread bangles. So the loaf was collected by the servant of the house, maid servant of the house, but the children, even they used to run to baker in order to get bread bangles. The baker made his musical entry on the scene with jhang jhang sound of his special made bamboo staff. One hand supported the basket on his head and the other banked the bamboo on the ground. He would greet the lady of the house with good morning and then place his basket on the vertical bamboo. We kids would be pushed aside with a mild rebuke and loaves would be delivered to the servant. But we would not give up. We would climb a bench or a parapet and peep into the basket somehow. I can still recall the typical fragrance of those loaves. Loaves for the elders and bangles for the children. Then we did not even care to brush our teeth or wash our mouths properly. And why should we? Who would take the trouble of plucking the mango leaf for toothbrush? And why was it necessary at all? The tiger never brushed his teeth. Hot tea could wash and clean up everything so nicely after all. So he says that the baker used to come in the street and the jhang jhang sound which was produced by the bamboo was a sign of their arrival. They used to have bamboo in one of his hand and the another hand of the baker used to support the basket which was there on the head of the baker. So they used to come every day in the morning and they used to greet the lady of the house with good morning, and while delivering bread, the loaves of bread to the lady of the house, they used to place their basket on the bamboo and then it was delivered to the maid of the house. So as soon as the child used to hear the jhang jhang sound, they used to run to greet the baker, and sometimes even they were scolded, the child were scolded by the servant, by the seniors, by the elder or by the baker. But they used to try their best to look into the basket which the baker was carrying. As they used to place it on the bamboo, therefore they were not able to reach up to that height, and therefore in order to peep into the basket, what they used to do, they used to climb up on the bench or on the parapet. Parapet is the small wall which is raised as a boundary or for the protection. So they used to climb on that and they used to peep into the basket. And here the author says that even now he still remember the fragrance of those loaves. And then he says that the baker used to give loaves of bread to elder and the children were given bangles, the bangles of bread. And as soon as they used to get the bangles of bread, they never carried to even brush their teeth. They used to eat it as soon as they get it. And he says then why they never found it necessary to brush their teeth in order to eat the to eat the bangles of the loaf. And then he says that even tiger never brushes their teeth, and so he never thought it necessary to wash his teeth before eating that ring. So it shows that how much they were attracted and how much they like that ring of bread. And then he says that he had never bothered to wash his teeth, wash his mouth, because he says that after all, hot tea would wash everything. The hot tea will clean up his mouth, and therefore he never bothered to pluck the leaves of bamboo in order to use it as a toothbrush. Marriage gifts are meaningless without sweet bread known as the bowl, just as party or feast loses its charms without bread. Not enough can be said to show how important a baker can be for a village. The lady of the house must prepare sandwiches on the occasion of daughter's engagement. Cakes and bolinas are the must for Christmas as well as for other festivals. Thus, the presence of baker's furnace in a village is absolutely essential. So now, here author says in this paragraph, he has given that how it has become, how baker and bakery shop and furnace has become an inseparable part of the culture of Goa. He says that as a marriage, whenever someone was going to give a gift in marriage, then one of the item of bakers, that is a sweet bread known as bowl, was the most important part of that gift. That no gift were regarded as complete without that bowl present in it. And then he says that whenever there was any festival, any occasion, any auspicious occasion, whether it may be engagement, whether it may be festivals, whether it may be marriage or any other festivals, in each and every festivals he says that a cake or sandwiches or bolinas was to be present there. So the image which you can see on the top, that is bolinas, and the image which you can see in the bottom and the corner, that is bowl. So this is how in this paragraph he shows that it has become a part of the ritual. It has become a part of ritual of Goa, and none of the occasion is treated to be solemn without the presence of bowl or bolinas or any other sort of product from bakery. And therefore, the presence of at least one baker furnace in a village is absolute essential, because it is required very now and then on every occasion. The baker or bread seller of those days had a peculiar dress known as kabai. It was a single piece long frock reaching down the knees. In our childhood we saw bakers wearing a shirt and trousers which were shorter than full length ones and longer than half pants. Even today, anyone who wears a half pant which reaches just below the knees invites the comments that is dressed like padder. So he says that the baker, the padder, used to have a special dress. Here you can see in this image, the man is wearing a dress which is like a frock reaching down the knees. So this dress is known as kabai. And here you can see how they used to carry the basket of bread on their head, and they have one bamboo in one of their hands, while the other hand is supporting the basket which is there on the head. So now he says that when they were child, even at that time, even the baker used to dress in another dress, that is, they used to wear shirt and a trouser, the trouser which was not even half pant and not even full pant. So it was not even of half length and neither it was of full length. So it was a little bit mid between both of them, so it used to reach, it was a little bit longer than the half pant, and it used to reach the knee. And he says that if any person, even today, if anyone dresses himself with the pant which reaches lower than the knee but not it is full, then they receive the comment that he has dressed himself like a pagan. The baker usually collected his bills at the end of the month. Monthly account used to be recorded on the wall with pencil. In pencil. Baking was indeed a profitable profession. In the old days, the baker and his family never starved. He, his family, and his servant always looked happy and prosperous. The plump physique was an open testimony to this. Even today, any person with a jackfruit-like appearance is easily compared to a baker. So now it is being said that this business of bakery is quite profitable, as the demand was very high and the sale was very good. They used to make very good profit, and the baker used to collect the money at the end of the month. They used to keep a record, and the record were maintained on the wall in pencil, and whatever the bill was, it used to be collected at the end of month. And now as the business was quite profitable, they were making good money, and therefore they were quite happy and rich. And he says their physique, their plump physique, it means the fatty appearance, the fat body, were a proof that they were making good profit out of their business. And then he says that even someone if they have a fatty body, if they look like jackfruit, then even they are being compared, even today they are being compared to baker. So this is all about this first part. So in this part we saw that how baker and how the bakery has become an inseparable part of the culture, of the rituals and tradition of Go. Thank you.